Happy New Year. You'd think that with the new year being upon us and 2020 finally being behind us, that I would have nothing else to talk about being so early on in the year. And yet and still, here we are, about to talk about another racially charged topic. So today, I would like to talk about the new Disney Pixar film, Soul. Now, I know what you're thinking. This is insanity. It's the beginning of the year. Give it a rest. Why are you picking an animated picture? This is totally off base. But on second thought, you may want to reconsider that thought process, because where I'm going to come from in this particular episode is one that I know a lot of black people and people of color probably will disagree with me on, but I'm going to say it anyway because this particular person of color feels this way about this topic. So this Disney Pixar film, Soul, apparently is a movie about a middle school teacher who is a musician, and through an accident his soul and body are separated, and so there's this journey to get them back reunited before his big break as a jazz musician. Great storyline. I'm sure it's a great movie. I haven't seen it yet, so I'm sort of sure it's a great movie. My problem isn't with the story. My problem isn't with the fact that, you know, hey, there's a minority lead, it's a minority based and structured movie. Totally on board with that. My issue in today's episode is the insistence and the continual use of certain keywords by white male-dominated corporations throughout the history of America, North America, Europe, and the world to try to appeal to urban audiences. So if you ever notice, there are certain words that are used, whether it be soul or groove or urban or hood, ghetto, ethnic. These words are often used by certain individuals and by certain corporations, especially now in late 2020, early 2021, to try to push the point that they are being inclusive, that they are on the side of minorities and people of color gaining respect, gaining equality, gaining a proper seat at the table. That to me has always bothered me. I've never been drawn to anything that was labeled urban or groove or soul. That doesn't appeal to me as a black man. I, as a black man, much like every other minority group, live normal lives. We experience normal things like any other white non-person of color would. I'm not shucking and jiving as I'm taking out the trash. I'm taking out the trash. I'm not doing a dance before I shovel snow. I'm being very cognizant so I don't throw out my back. Like, there's nothing groovy or soul or ethnic or urban about that. I'm living my life. And this particular movie, the reason why I have an issue with it is, one, it's Disney. So I have many issues with Disney throughout the history of Disney. But come on, Disney, it's 2020. Yeah, I get the movies about reuniting a soul and someone's body, and I get that. But you could have called this movie a million and one other things besides Soul, and having a black lead character and a primarily black voice cast. That to me sounds like you're trying way too hard to show everyone that you're being inclusive and that this is an ethnic movie and that you're pushing out a black animated film, and so therefore everyone should jump on board and say, yay, Disney is doing a great thing. But you see it all over the place with other corporations and other companies. They're pushing more black models. It's amazing now. You look in flyers, I get the Costco magazine, and all of a sudden, I've got black people on the cover of my Costco magazine. I've got black families pictured in different ads inside the Costco magazine. Like, let's be clear. There is not all of a sudden a massive influx of black models. They've always been there. They've always existed. They've just been picked over and pushed aside for white models to do the work. So this whole thing of corporations and white-run corporations and the white power structure and the white systematic racist entity that exists that we call American business and capitalism is trying way too hard, and always has, to try to make everyone think that everything is fine and hunky-dory, and that by some strange stroke of genius and by some miracle that we were just mistaken, that they've always been inclusive, when in fact they have not. So again, my problem with this movie, and with many other things that I'm seeing lately, is the fact that corporations are not truly being inclusive. They're making moves, they're appointing people, and more power to the people who are benefiting from this. But that's not you as a corporation truly being inclusive and truly giving a shit about people of color. That's you making strategic moves to make everyone think that you actually care. What people want, what minorities want, what people of color want, is real change. Change in how you think, change in how you react, change in your policies, change in you actually disciplining people who don't follow those policies. That's what we want. We don't just want a figurehead. We actually want the real change. So anyway, check out Soul. It's a Disney Pixar picture. I believe it has a theatrical release. I believe it's on Disney Plus. I'm sure it's a great movie. But again, Disney, you got to do better and you got to do more, because this is not good enough for me. I don't respond to these keywords. You could have called it 1,000,001 other things besides this. But you know what? It is a black film. It's a primarily black voice cast. I support it. Go see it. And again, Happy New Year. Until next time.